up, guys? Okay, what I want to show you, you've probably seen before in lots of other YouTube videos about soloing or learning your minor pentatonic and scales and stuff. What I was largely playing there was what a lot of people refer to as a diagonal pentatonic. So of course, I know most of you that are probably watching this video know box one already. For A minor, this would be for A minor pentatonic. It's 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. And I went back to this note because that's an A note. That's an A note as well on both E strings. Those are what are called your roots. Don't worry about what that really means. It just means that if it's an A scale, then A would be the root. If it was a G scale, then G would be the root. It's just the tonal center or the keyword or whatever. And the scale that we're using, again, is the A minor pentatonic, and we're using it over a 12-bar blues. And you've probably heard that term before. I'm not going to get into the whole 12-bar blues thing, formula and stuff today. I'll do that in another video. But suffice it to say, if you know anything about the blues or you've never played it before, it's a really good launching point to start off learning how to use a scale over chords and solo or take some leads. Also, 12-bar blues is really helpful too because it's probably one of the most common things that you'll come across if you get together with some other guitar players and you're standing around and yeah, somebody might say, oh, this song or that song that's like a popular standard or something that maybe you do or maybe you don't. But one thing that everybody can usually agree on is like, oh, you want to just jam on a 12-bar blues for a minute, and then everybody gets to take a turn soloing, and you got to know the chords and stuff. So we'll get to that too. But again, the three chords that we're playing over are A, D, and E. You could play them as major chords, but more commonly they're being played as dominant seventh chords. Now, the backing track I was just playing over is a video that I found on YouTube that I think is really good because it displays the chord names as they're going by. I'll put a link to that backing track in the, I didn't create it, it's not my backing track, but I'll put a link to that video. It's got like 6 million views or whatever. It's a really helpful video. I use it with a lot of my students that I have online and in person. So you could pull up that video and then use that video to play over some of the concepts that I show you today. I think it'll really help you. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you two different diagonal pentatonics. A lot of people will know this one that is centered around box one, and then I'll show you the other one that's centered around box four. Again, both boxes I'm talking about are A minor pentatonic. There's 5 boxes. You can learn them as their box names, box 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, or you can learn them as their cage shaped names. Box 1 is really an E-shaped scale. It's where your E-shaped A minor chord lives. That's all that means. I won't get into all that stuff right now. Maybe that's for another video. Let me just show you this because I know you want to get to soloing. The reason that we're going to use more than one box is so that we can do things like you can't really, I mean, you can slide like that, right? Just in one spot. But you can slide more, and you can do bending and things like that. That's why we want to utilize more than one box. Again, I don't think it's a waste of time to learn all 5 boxes, but I'm just about to propose to you the idea that you're really only going to use portions of the other boxes. So I think learning all of box 1, all of box 4 is pretty helpful, and then you make these little additions to it that give you the ability to bend, slide, and do other things. So without further ado, let me show them to you. So if this is box 1, what you have to picture is that box 5 would be behind box 1 because there's only 5 boxes, and the neck just starts to repeat itself. So you could picture it's actually like a circle, like a loop. It just starts to repeat itself. So for example, if I wanted to play this box 1 shape up in the next octave, I'd go up 12 frets. So from 5, I go all the way up to 17. This would be an A as well, and I could actually play that same shape right? That's the same thing as this, but an octave higher. So that means that box 5 is right behind box 1, and then of course box 2 is right in front of box 1. If you want to think of it as climbing up the neck this way. Now I could show you the whole box 2, but I'm not going to because it's a waste of time for right now. So I'm going to show you the portion of it that we're going to use. It's a little addition. Okay, if I come down here and I use my index and my ring fingers, right, at 8 and 10, I'm going to play 10, 8 on E. I'll play 10, 8 on B, and I'll use my middle finger to get 9 right there on the dot on the G string, okay? So what happens is if we add that, I've heard people call it the house, I've heard people call it the triangle. You can kind of see it. That middle finger would be the roof, and there would be a wall, and there would be a wall, okay? You can kind of see that design right there. So it goes. Now we could continue backwards, 7, 5. Now we're back in position for box 1. And you can play the rest of box 1 down if you want. And if we were climbing up, we'd go 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7. And then when you get to the G string, that's the string that's going to take you up. 5, 7, 9. And then switch to your index finger, 8, 10, 8, 10. Okay? But wait, there's more. If we add the notes that we were going to add from box 5, now box 5 looks like this. This is a really simple box to memorize. You've got 3, 5, 3, 5, okay? And then on the high strings, you have 3, 5, and 3, 5, right? The middle strings, the D and the G, that's where you're going to go 2, 5, 2, 5. So the whole thing together looks like this. 3, 5, 3, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. Okay, now, I know I said I wasn't going to go through all the boxes. Only thing we're going to really add is the note on the 3rd fret of the E string and the 3rd fret of the A string. So now we have this. And we're going to slide up. And now we're back in a position for box 1. And if we're coming down, we'd slide back like that. Okay? So we're just adding these 2 notes, and then we added this, 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 and this. Now we have real estate from the 3rd fret all the way up to the 10th fret. And trust me when I say you're never going to need more real estate really than that for one key. Okay? So I'm going to play it all the way up. 3, 5, right? And you want to use the fingers I'm using. The 1st finger, 3rd finger, 3rd fret, 5th fret. Then we're going to go 3, 5, slide up to 7. Then we're going to go 5, 7. Now we're going to go 5, 7, 9 on the G string. Okay? And then we're going to switch to our index finger on B, 8, 10, 8, 10. Okay, descending. 10, 8, 10, 8, 9, index finger 7, 5, 7, 5. Now we get to the A string, and that's a highway as well to take us into the box prior to this one. 7, 5, 3. Then I might just play 5 and then get that note because I can, and back to the 5. Okay? That's what we call a diagonal pentatonic. Now, you can watch me play through. It'll make a little more sense. Just gonna sit here, right here. Stop on an A. Okay, so here we go. All right, so what I want to show you now is the one that's around box 4. So let's learn box 4, okay? So just remember you have box 1 here at the 5th fret. This is the same key, but it's a different box, okay? It's going to look like this. This time we're going to start at the 12th fret and then the 15th fret, okay? 12, 15 on the dots. 12, 15, okay? Then the D string, I'm going to go 12, 14. And in the G string, I'm going to go 12, 14. And now we have to pivot up one, okay, because of the tuning of the guitar. And we're going to do 13, 15. And then we pivot back one, 12, 15. Because remember, whatever happens on the low E has to happen on the high E too. So going up again, one more time. 12, 15, 12, 15. And, you know, I'm grabbing it with my 1st and 3rd fingers because the frets are so small here that it's easier to do. If you were going to play it somewhere else on the neck, it might be better to learn it as index finger, pinky, index finger, pinky, index finger, ring finger, index finger, ring finger, index finger, ring finger, index, pinky. Descending, 15, 12, 15, 12, whoops, no, wrong. 15, 12, 15, 13, 14, 12, 14, 12, 15, 12, 15, 12. Okay? If I'm talking fast, I apologize. You can toggle the video and slow the speed down using the setting, or you can just rewatch it a few times. But all in all, that's box 4. Okay, same notes we used in box 1, right? We have A, C, D, E, G, and back to A. Here, that would look like it's starting on E, E, G, A, C, D, E, G, A again. Okay, anyhow, so what extensions are we going to add? Well, if you remember those little notes that I said were in box 5, right here it was, right? That's right here now. Okay, and we're going to add that. So we're going to go 17, 15, 17, 15, 17, 14, 12. That's how we're going to get back into position to be in box 4. So let me show that to you again. 17, 15, 17, 15, 17, 14, 12, 14, 12, 15, 12, 15, 12. Okay? Now, that's box 4. It lives right here at the 12th and 15th frets, in between those two frets. Box 3 lives right here between 10 and 12. Now, I'm not going to show you the whole box, but I'm going to show you the easy part that we're going to use as the lower extension. Just like we used the lower extension for going into box 1 from box 5, we're going to use box 3 into box 4. Now watch it. It's so easy. 10, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12, and then slide up to 14. Now we're in position. Let me show that to you again. 10, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12, 14. Now G string, 12, 14. You got to jump all the way up to 17, but then you have this. 15, 17, 15, 17. Okay? Now, why did I come back to the A string at the 12th fret? Because that's an A note. That's a root. It just sounds better when you land on the root. This is a root as well. There's a root right there, too. And then from there, I'm going to show it to you with the backing track. Here we go. It's using the higher part of box 4. Oop, wrong note. Come down the box 4. So now what we have is we have the diagonal pentatonic that's around box 1 that stretches from the 3rd fret to the 10th fret, okay? And then we have the diagonal pentatonic that stretches around box 4 that goes from the 10th fret all the way up to the 17th fret. So if you put those two together, man, that is like pretty much more, I mean, that is the whole neck. Really, it's all of it. It's all 5 boxes and playing around them, okay? So what should you do? Well, I mean, eventually, you know, you're going to get to playing around and learning some licks in these boxes, right? And doing some simple thing. some stuff like that would be really fun to do. That's all I'm doing is I'm bending the G string and then playing the B string, which is right behind it. I mean, right underneath it. And then I played the E string, B, E. You know, you got all kinds of stuff. You can do that little country bend thing here. That's a better one. But you can learn all that stuff, but really what you should do in the beginning is practice just playing the main box, right? So box 1 or box 4, okay? And then slowly start adding those little extensions and try to always land on a root in the beginning so it sounds more musical, right? So for example, let me show you. I don't think I showed you the roots in box 1. Let me show you the roots. So there's a root there, then there's a root on the high E. Whatever happens on low E happens on high E. And then if you come over 2 frets and 2 strings here at the 7th fret of D, you have another A note. A. So those are the 3 roots right here. Then in this extension of box 2, right there at the 10th fret of the B string, you have an A note. Right? So you can try to land your phrases where you're landing on a root. So when you're practicing, it's sometimes fun just to climb up and stop at the root. Right? Okay? Now, down here in box 4, our root's on the A string at the 12th fret. You probably already knew that, right? Because all the notes are repeated at the 12th fret, the same as the open string names. You have an A here, and you also have an A on the G string, okay? And then the last one is right there at the 17th fret of E. So there's one right there. You could do something like that, right? Or using our slide back, okay? Now, when we did our diagonals in this box, I mentioned that it's the A string and the G string that you climb up, right? So we went up on the A string, and then when we got to nothing on the D string, then when we got to G string, we went up again, okay? In this pentatonic, we go up on the D string and the G string. Okay, so for this diagonal, it's the D string and the G string, and this one is the A string and the G string, but both spots utilize the G string, and that's the one you're going to find that you probably use a lot. Okay, so I always forget to say at the beginning of the video, like, if you find this useful, to like and subscribe. If you've made it this far in the video, which by analytics, I know most people don't, but if you're still here, I really appreciate that you are. I really appreciate you watching my videos. I appreciate it if you subscribe, if you give it a like, give it a comment, tell me things that you want to learn, tell me if this was helpful, tell me if I talked too fast or if I left something out or you didn't understand something that I said. I'm just here to help. That's all I really want to do, is just make some videos and have some fun. I do teach private lessons. You can reach out to me if you want. I usually use Zoom, you know, but I'm open to, I have done FaceTime lessons, and I've done like Google Meet or whatever those other ones are. I'm pretty reasonably priced, I think, and this is what I do for a living. So yeah. Also, I do have an original music project called No Hotel, and I'll leave links down in the box below, you know, where you could check out all those things that I do. You could drop a tip in the tip jug. You could email me at jerrywademusic@gmail.com. That will be down in the link, or down in the box as well. If you're interested in taking some guitar lessons with me, or just trying it out. Again, hope you guys have some fun. And like I said, I will put the link to this jam track that was not made by me. The channel's name is Guitar Improvisation. They got almost 300,000 subscribers. Honestly, use the one for A. use the one for E. They're really great blues tracks to just jam along and have some fun with. And at the end of the day, that's what it's really all about. So again, just remember, it costs nothing to be kind. All right, and I'll see you in the next one.